Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So yes, I am in the great backyard. That's right. Today's my day off from work, turning wrenches, and unfortunately my schedule does not allow me to hit the woods anytime soon. One of the things I wanted to discuss today and kind of go over some things with you guys is that we recently did 2 videos on those Walmart prepackaged survival kits. You see them online all the time. You see them at just about every carrier of long-term emergency food. You know, you see it online all the time, those little gimmicky kits, and that's exactly what they are, the gimmicky kits. I have done training with those little tiny kits, and with my skill level, and I do have a very high skill level with outdoor survival, is one of the things I teach, one of the things I train with all the time, and I'm always going to other courses held by other people just to hone those skills. And plus I just drop myself off in the middle of nowhere and go live for a few days. Most of those kits are gimmicky, just crap. But there are a few things, even at Walmart, that are worth buying and putting in a kit, building your own kit. Let's go ahead and go over a couple of things here. One, tried and true, I have shown this method many times, and that is the UCO stormproof matches. Now guys, I have done everything from flint and steel, char cloth, bow drills, friction fires, hand drills, starting fires. I've done videos on this. I've done training through all that, and there are ways of creating fire, but sometimes you are just too damn exhausted, you're hurt, you're injured. You know, you just don't have the drive in you to create that fire. It takes a lot out of you. It does, unless you're practicing all the time. And then it's somewhat easier, but sometimes elements affects you, all right? Could be too much moisture in the air, the materials you're trying to dry out and use to make a fireboard or a spindle just isn't working for you. Having items like this, yes, will save your rear end. So again, that's the case for these matches. I got a couple things here, guys, so stick with me. These are things I actually do approve from Walmart. All right, so this one here came in a 2-pack. It says 50 matches. I don't know if they're 25 each. Yes, they are. Got a great striker on the box itself. Usually they come with strikers on the inside. Now these are waterproof. The striker material, however, is not. It's printed on cardboard. That's on this right here, on both sides. But now they usually do include some strikers, and again, those are printed on cardboard as well. So I do recommend one of these little waterproof cases that they do sell for these matches. Got a gasket in there, and I tuck away extra cardboard strikers on these. I do. These are not strike anywhere matches, unfortunately. All right, so with that being said, we got these here. These are some older ones I've had in my kit. That's why the colorization is slightly different. It's darker, been oxidized. Never had any major issues using these like this. Let me go ahead and demonstrate for you guys. Again, there's a case. If I'm correct, I think the case is like $5. A box of 50 is $5. But wind is blowing, these things burn hot. If you build yourself a nice bird nest, ignite and slide that sucker in there, it's going to start a fire. All right, like I said, these are waterproof as well. They can get wet while they are lit. While they're not lit, they will ignite, they will burn. So for the price, that is actually, I keep that in my kit. It is a very good quality item. I've used it many times outdoor in the field, so I keep them on hand. Now, that's all fine and dandy, CFP, really is. I just use a Bic with duct tape. I do as well. I keep one in my kit, absolutely. I don't rely my entire survival off this one item though. I keep it in my fire kit. Yeah, it's a great way of starting fire. Bics are great, they always light. Duct tape can be used for many things. You can also start fires with them. But again, the story is, I was outside Dunsmuir near Mount Shasta. I left Dunsmuir, I was in Mount Shasta on a train, and the train broke down. I had been sitting there for what seemed like forever, and it was snowing, freezing. I was freezing to death. What's going on? There is no heat on those box cars. It's just metal. Gear I had was not prepared. I was not prepared for the snow. I jumped off. I was going to start myself a fire, and unfortunately I had a bad habit of putting Bic lighters in my back pocket. And while you're sitting on steel or sit down on a rock with that in your back pocket, this is a plastic case, it will crack. I have also had it so cold I could not get my lighter to light, and it was a Bic. It was that freaking cold out there. So there's plenty of internet guru warriors that tell you many different things. I unfortunately have been in the shit with just this, and when it fails, now what? Yeah, so all the material I had ice, sleet all over it. I had to dig down deep in dead material trying to find dry tinder, something I can make a fire with. I eventually did get fire made, but having a broke lighter sucked. Next item up, guys, Walmart. Again, well, lighters are good. I get them at Walmart too. Petroleum jelly, and this is makeup cotton pads. These things here, you can pre-make them, put them in a Ziploc baggie. I've done videos on doing Mylar, whatever. You're gonna get a fire. It's gonna catch a spark and start a fire for you. Well worth it, whatever the price of it is. You can get them different sizes and stuff, and I keep them. All right, these things are great to start a fire with. Moving on, this is an interesting item I just saw. Never used this before, but I like the idea. This is called Sweet Fire Strikeable Fire Start. It's like a little pyramid cone. So we have ×8 in here. So each packet has 4. Looks like some type of fire start material, like those fire sticks or fire logs. And let's get one of these out here. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna move this kit out of the way so we don't start a fire over there. It's got a match head on top, and this press like sawdust material, probably probably wax, holding it together. So let's get a striker here. It does come with additional strikers, kind of like the storm matches. This is UCO as well. So we've got a block right here. Let's check out what type of time we get. So I've never used this, but it's interesting. So you could actually put that in the base of a fire, bird's nest. Looks like it holds flame. I'm trying to see if there's anything on here about windproof or waterproof, but I do not see any of those on this package compared to the stormproof matches. Wind is up. This is still burning right now, burning for a while. That fire kit material that's in there, that pressed sawdust looking material. All right, wind's kicked up. Let's see if it blows out. And of course, if you're setting up, you'd have your bundle and everything over it already. That's not bad. I would have to do some more field testing with this product, actually out in the field. But as of right now, I don't have nothing bad against it. I like the idea. Seems to hold a flame much longer, of course, than the storm match. So you got some damper material trying to get started. Yeah, I can see that being a useful item. But I don't want to tell you to get this stuff until I've actually gone out there and actually field tested it in rough conditions. So I know for sure the stormproof matches do work in great damp condition, high wind condition. I've used these many of times. I like them. A Bic lighter, hey, works great. But you know, sometimes this shit happens. So don't rely everything on just a Bic lighter alone. Have multiple ways of starting fire. Well, this is still burning here. I'm curious if it's just burning the outside or is she burning all the way through. Yeah, it's slowly burning through. That's not bad. It's like having one of those little fire sticks, starting a fire and stuff. So I like the idea. Again, I got to get out in the field and actually test this in some harsh climate, not just harsh environment, not just in the backyard. There's too many internet self-proclaimed outdoorsmen that only do their outdoor survival in their backyard. And there is nothing wrong with going out to the backyard, guys, and learning and practicing with gear. I encourage you to. I do. Especially if you're planning on just using a bow drill for a week out in the woods. I say go outdoors, go to your backyard, and you get very proficient at it before you ever hit the trails with it. All right, that's been put out. And I still got some left. You could actually use that probably as a fire. You might be able to start that with a fire with a ferrocene rod. We'll test that. Let's see here. Break this up a little bit. I do have ferro rod here. I do. And I've got my knife, some MIRA, the backside here. All right. Now, this, you saw me sling it that way. And by the way, this here was a gift from a good friend, Crafty Veteran, sent this to me. Love it. I appreciate it, brother. It's got a good handle on it. One thing I want to show you guys, don't use your blade. Use the backside. It's a carbon steel blade. You pull this back instead of sling it that way. You can get your arm just right, set it in place. And there we go. So the material itself is still flammable. Okay, I'm liking this even more and more. So you have built-in tinder as well. That is a sweet fire strikeable fire starter. Again, I have to do some more serious testing with it before I can recommend it, but not bad so far. I'm gonna put this out. So all in all, guys, there are some good items. Like I said, for sure, the stormproof matches, they work great. Use them many times. Carrying case, waterproof case, it's great. That sweet fire strikeable fire starter, I like it, but I gotta do some testing. Petroleum jelly, makeup pads, cotton balls, whatever, works great. I've already done videos on using wax on them. Fire chips is what I call them. Work great. Having a Bic lighter, of course, is always something you should definitely have. Magnifying glass, awesome. In direct sunlight, if you got overcast like this, it's kind of hard to get anything to, you know, work with you there. A good ferro rod. Again, this one here was a gift from a friend of mine. I like it, that's why it's in my nice kit. We do have affiliation with Bigfoot Bushcraft. They make a damn good ferro rod. I've done many reviews on that. I carry that in my main kit that I used to take out to the woods with me. And what else we got here? Oh yeah, we carry chert and flint and steel, all that stuff in our gear. But all those skills, guys, is you got to be proficient at it. Same with the bow drill. Just because you've done one 3 years ago, yeah, you still have the knowledge of how to do it, but you got to have the muscle memory to do it. Same with a hand drill, starting a fire that way. And I'll tell you what, that is a difficult job. I'd rather have a couple boxes of these with me just in case, but there are times that you don't have that with you. Now you have to make fire out of 2 sticks rubbing together, some type of friction fire. These are skills that you need to learn, get proficient in, because as preppers we stock up, but what happens if that stock runs out or that stock is damaged, stolen, or lost? Shit happens. All that's taken away from you. Every bit of that's gone. Even that. How are you going to start a fire? Boil water, stay warm, cook. All you're left with is 2 sticks. Maybe some boot string. I don't have any on these. These are slip-on boots. So, pretty much screwed in that department, right? Makes you think. Unfortunately, this wouldn't last long on a bow drill. It's not the right material. Bank line works really well. Yeah, kind of. Personally, 550 paracord I like using. This is not 550, this is fire starting cord, but it's pretty stout. I'll definitely be using that for a bow drill material. I have used bank line before, and I've had to use a lot of bank line before. I've popped a bunch of them. Something to think about, guys. Anyway, appreciate y'all hanging out with me this weekend. I am looking at what's going on overseas right now. Just be prepping, stock up food, work on your outdoor skills. I'm not saying you're gonna have to go live outdoors. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you need to have the skills so you have the option to, and to survive the outdoors if it comes down to it. All right, speak to y'all later.